Hello, beach friends. I've been hearing so many of you telling me what good luck you're having over here at Lighthouse Beach in Sanibel, so I decided to head over that way and try my luck. Lighthouse Beach Park offers over 44 acres of land to explore, but don't worry, we're going to be spending most of our time at the beach. I'll tell you exactly how I went about finding shells, and today I'm going to do something totally different with the goodies I find, so let's get started and head on over to the beach. So here we are over at the parking lot, and I gotta tell you, at first it wasn't looking good for me. I could not find any parking, which is generally why I like to get out that early. So right now it's about 11:32 in the morning, but I did manage to score a spot, so all was well. Got to the beach and headed over to the pier because I wanted to make sure I want to check out all the beach that I can. And there's not much out there. The water's a little murky and it's also a little rough. Now the tide is going out. I was hoping to capture at least some of it. It was hot. Felt like 101 degrees out. So I was hopefully going to spending some time in the water. But as far as what's on the beach, not looking really good over here for me. A little bit, ooh, garbage. We'll get that. Little this, little that. Maybe if you were a vacation sheller, you might be happy with what's going on. But I was really kind of looking for something a little bit better than just some common shells. Here we have a little tiny giant Atlantic cockle. We'll consider that to be foreshadowing. And so, of course, the arcs. What did I see? Broken scallop. Okay, so nothing all that exciting over here, but I definitely wanted to at least come over and check it out. Now, what I do like about this part of the beach over here is if you kind of creep around a little bit, it's really pretty. You have some trees that are by the water. So if you do come here and you want to kind of see this view, you're going to want to kind of go over by the pier because once you get over to the lighthouse proper, you're not going to have the trees and whatnot by the water. So I did my time over here, did what I could, didn't find much, and so I'm going to walk past the lighthouse. Let's talk about the lighthouse for just a second. The Sanibel Lighthouse was one of the first lighthouses on Florida's Gulf Coast north of Key West and the Dry Tortugas. It stands about 98 feet above sea level on an iron skeleton. Now, the grounds are open to the public, but the lighthouse itself is not. The foundation for the new lighthouse was completed in early 1884, but the ship bringing the ironwork for the tower sank 2 miles from Sanibel Island. A crew of hard hat divers from Key West recovered all but 2 of the pieces for the tower, and the tower was first lit on August 20th, 1884. So this lighthouse has been in service for quite a while. It's really quite iconic to the entire island of Sanibel, and it's beautiful over here. It really is. Now, I don't spend a whole lot of time over here because honestly, I don't find a lot of shells here, but so many people have been telling me that they do. So I wanted to at least come over, take a peek, and see what I can find. So that's a little history on the lighthouse of Sanibel Island. It is a pretty day. The water's nice and blue. People are out enjoying the water because it's so hot. So let's head on over to the other side and see what we can find. Of course, I like to check the water. I'm looking a little murky, so I'm going to quickly scan some shell piles just in case there might be something over here. And typically with the shell piles, when you see a lot of white like this, it's really going to be the arcs, the slippers. You might find a kitten paw or 2 in there. Oh, a spiny jewel box. Really more of a lumpy jewel box. So we'll leave that because heck, there's so many people here probably looking for shells, and I'll leave a little something for them. So kind of digging through. See something yellow? That's just a piece of a crab carapace. So there's shells here, but I'm looking for something a little more exciting. So I figured just kind of take a peek here. Definitely no Wentel traps. That I can say for sure. And oh, a giant Atlantic cockle. Okay, it's not in terrific shape. So again, I'm gonna leave that for somebody else. Yep, yeah, not gonna leave that on the beach. That I'll definitely take and make sure that makes it into the recycling. So I've kind of made my way around, and you can see the water is packed with people. All right, maybe not packed with people. There's a lot of people here. I'm not used to shelling when there's so many people, but it is a little bit later in the day because I did want to try to kind of catch low tide. Mostly what I'm seeing in the water there is more of the same, more of those arcs and slippers and the common stuff. So I decided to bring out the heavy equipment. Well, at least for me, got my flea scooper. So I'm getting in the water. And as I'm approaching the water, I see a shell. This is not typically how I would use the scooper, but I found a paper fig. And you know what? It's a little broken. And at this moment, for whatever reason, I decided every single shell I find today, I'm going to give away. Every single one of them. So I'm going to start scooping. All right. Nothing too, what do we get? All right. It's like a little, one of those little corrugated jewel box maybe. Maybe someone else will find that exciting. I'll leave it there. I did another scoop. And again, most of the common stuff, another cockle. Okay, and again, I'm going to give these away. So some of these I'm going to stick in my bag. And then when I find a sheller, I'm going to give it to them. Another scoop. All right, a little broad-ribbed cardita. A slipper. All right, lumpy jewel box. And a crossbarred Venus. Any lettering? Nah. Just one of the regular old crossbarred Venus. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my bag, though. There is a calico scallop, which for today is actually kind of a good find. So it was a little rough over by the lighthouse. So I decided to get away from all the other people and see if I could maybe find another spot where I can kind of start digging in the water. So it looks like, okay, here is a prickly cockle. It's kind of light on the inside. It's a shell. I mean, it's something. And another one. This is actually a different one. You can tell by the color. This one's a little bit darker than that first one. And again, I'm going to throw it in my bag so I can give it to somebody else who might not be finding anything. I got excited to see this, and then it's all busted up. Oh well. Oh well. Check it out and keep it moving. So the water was nice and clear, so you can kind of see if there was things in there. The problem was there was not much to see. There was quite a lack of anything other than the common stuff. So that's when you really know you gotta get in the water and start looking to see what you can find. We found this little calico scallop. I'm gonna put that in my bag for somebody else. And that's what I'm looking at. It looks like a good spot. The water was really, I wouldn't say rough. For here, it was quite rough. It was really, really windy and choppy. That's how far away from the lighthouse. The lighthouse is all the way there in the distance. So kind of made my way, see if I can get away from people. Hello, ibis. We have one of our little shore birds. Looking for some snacks. And there's my tool, and there's my spot. So I'm gonna get in the water and see what I can find here. We switch cameras, and we're heading on in. This is a good way for you guys who maybe can't swim, or maybe you don't go in the water much. This is what it looks like. And I did get tossed around a lot on this day. It was not calm. Definitely getting pushed around by the water. I mean, it felt good. It was super hot out, so that part was good. But it was not calm. It was more of a battle to find shells than it was anything kind of relaxing. So I got my equipment, I got my camera, and I'm going to get in there and start seeing what I can find. All right, first scoop. I felt this with my foot. That's definitely something you can do, is feel around with your feet. I did feel that. I scooped it. It's exciting to find a banded tulip, although it's quite beat up, but hey, maybe someone will think that's cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in my bag. All right, and this next scoop, okay, a Florida fighting conch, really beat up. Not necessarily a keeper for me, but maybe a vacationer would like that. And this was a bummer. That's a big old chunk of a lightning whelk. Ugh. I was kind of hoping, yeah, you never know. Maybe I'll feel a piece. I'll get lucky. Oh, Another beat up Florida fighting conch. Oh well, we're just gonna keep at it. So I'm rooting around with my feet, and when I kind of feel something like this, finally, okay, we got a decent Florida fighting conch. And when you feel, unfortunately, kind of when you feel pointy things with your feet, that's when you kind of want to dig around. And that guy was pointy, so that's how I managed to find them. Now look quickly, that's a little bubble because I dropped it, and there was no way I was going to get it again. But these guys, this is another giant Atlantic cockle, and a hinged one nonetheless, also known as a heart cockle. Very pretty. So I thought maybe someone would appreciate that. Put that in the bag. And another Florida fighting conch. Okay. Definitely none of those on the beach. So once I got in the water, I started at least finding a little something. Oh, another cockle. Those were easy to kind of feel with your feet. Very easy. I'd feel something and I'd scoop. All right, here we have another not great Florida fighting conch. But again, you never know. Someone else might think that's fantastic. Now, what? Managed to scoop an apple murex. That's actually quite decent. So I was real happy with that. I figured someone else would also be quite happy with that. And another cockle. And at the end of the day, I was finding these left and right. Someone else had recently mentioned that they too were finding these giant Atlantic cockles there. And they were all over, although I had to get in the water to find them, but they were all over the place. And so I kept picking them up. Again, I'm not shelling for me. Ooh, okay, decent, nice size. Not the prettiest one I've ever seen, but a calico scallop nonetheless. And a disc, oh, that's odd. Another giant Atlantic cockle. Oh, and a prickly cockle, okay. And a hinged disc dosenia, something different. All right, nice to see a little bit of variety. And another scallop, that's a calico scallop. That's decent, okay. So you can kind of see I'm really getting pushed around by the water. Another giant Atlantic cockle. And another hinged Discdocenia. The sand was really, really packed, but I was kind of feeling a pocket and I was at least pulling something up, so I kind of stayed here. Oh, a channel duck clam. Also a sailor's ear. Okay. Nice to see it again, a little variety, a little something different. What do we got here? A lightning whelk. Well, heck, that is very exciting considering the shelling day I'm having. Okay. So guys, get in the water. Feel around with your feet. A little seraph. All right. Now, if you don't have a scooper, just kind of go a little bit more shallow and feel around with your feet and then kind of see if you can dig something up. A banded tulip, and if you look at it like that, well, all right, when you hold it a certain way, it's pretty okay. And again, just considering the lack of anything else I'm finding, that was exciting. Ooh, all right, it's a little bit of discolor on it, but that is another Florida fighting conch. Kind of a cool find for today anyway. And did I finally find an olive? Yes. Although, it's a little chipped, but that's okay. Again, I'm vacation shelling for somebody else. And I think that's an egg cockle, devoid of any kind of color whatsoever, but a cool different shape. And another calico scallop. At least we're finding something. More giant Atlantic cockles. My bag was full of them. Just every time I turned around, I was finding one of those. Not on the beach, but at least in the water. So I was getting beat up, I was scooping, and at least I was finding something, and it made it fun because I wasn't necessarily shelling for me. I was really thinking about somebody else that I'd be able to give my shells to. And let's have a little beach time. All right, one more peek at the beach before I start heading back, and it's still lovely and there's still not a whole lot there. So I'm heading on back, but I have to admit, I'm getting kind of excited because I got a bag full of shells and I'm giving them all away. Anyone who I see that is shelling, they're looking down, they're looking for goodies. Those are my targets. I'm going to find them and offer them something from my goodie bag. So I'm kind of excited about this. And on my way, I managed to, there's a whole bunch of those little coquina clams. Just a whole little pack of them. And then I thought about that ibis that was hunting earlier. I wonder if he managed to get some snacks that he liked. And then I kind of was feeling bad for the renter of this boat. They did not check the tides. I did say the tide was going out. I typically now do have an idea if it's coming or going. And somebody wasn't paying attention. And that lady was the very happy recipient of one of the shells I found. Oh, got another calico, and like I'm giving them away anyway, so I'm gonna let somebody else find that. And there in the distance, you can see one of our little turtle nests people are kind of hanging out next to. So there's a lighthouse. Marching my way back, looking for some people to give shells away to. It kind of felt like Shell Santa, especially on a day when there really wasn't much on the beach. I was really feeling quite excited about it, and I will tell you that almost everyone was really, really happy. There was one particular girl, well, it was a woman and a younger girl, and it was her first time here, and so she ended up getting most of my littler goodies, the apple murex and that nice Florida fighting conch, and I hope I inspired someone to love this place and come back. It was her first time here. Now, digging is another method, but I would just ask or encourage people to fill those shells, fill the holes in, because we do have turtles coming here trying to nest, and they probably don't want to navigate all those holes. And then there's the lighthouse. I am leaving at this point. I've been battered. I didn't find much, but I felt really good about what I did find because I gave them all away. So it was, for me, a really fun day. I hope I made somebody else's day kind of fun, having some random person walk up to them and give them some shells. So that made me feel pretty good. And I was, all in all, I had a pretty good day. We're driving over the causeway. Lots of people enjoying themselves. It's beautiful. And that water, beautiful blue water. But before I gave everything away, I did have the presence of mind to do a little recap, just shoot these real quick. Bunch of those giant Atlantic cockles. And so look, like a little bowl. Take your little shell, put it in that bowl, terrific. So I'm giving all those away. The Distocenia, what else? Okay, calico scallop, the lightning whelk, although not perfect, but for today it was fantastic. A Florida fighting conch. That was probably the best Florida fighting conch. Yep, nice, clean, dark color. The apple murex, which was kind of cool on a day like today. I was happy with that find for somebody else. And another calico scallop, another Florida fighting conch, and then an olive. Although it's a little chipped, that's okay. A little seraph. A banded tulip, again, a little beat up, but still maybe for somebody else it was exciting. Just a piece of a banded tulip. And then some nacre, some of that mother of pearl, and another calico scallop. So I didn't bring anything home with me today, but like I said, I was still feeling pretty good about the day in general. And this is a part of the video where I thank you guys for coming along, especially my Patreons. You guys are awesome. You all are awesome, but a special shout out to my Patreons. Now, I would like to do something totally different next week, and so I went on a road trip. I drove 6 hours in one day to find shells. So I'm going to share all of that next Sunday. Thanks for coming along. Lighthouse Beach, I'm still not convinced you're great for me, but we'll see what happens in the future. So you guys have a great week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.